The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Well, Catawba has become, since the 80s, it has become a rivalry game. It's always been two good football teams going at each other. Last year in Salisbury, it goes to overtime. So, we know how it is when you play Catawba. You'll get their best shot, and hopefully they'll get our best shot. They're a group right now that's dangerous with a quarterback that can make plays with his feet and his arm. He's a very dangerous player, and they're putting some points and some yardage up. So, you've got to make sure we're a solid assignment. Make sure we've got him accounted for every time, even to the point of having a spy ready.
You bring up the quarterback situation. Ken Avon was supposed to be the starter before the season began. How have the Indians changed what they've done with the change of quarterback?
I think they're very similar, to what they have been. They have a system and they have a package, and I think they've done some more things with their offense to accommodate him with his feet and his ability to run the football with quarterback leads and draws and those type of things. And he's a threat. It doesn't matter if it's a zone look, if it's a throw. He's a threat to put it under his arm and go get it.
Have you faced a quarterback this year that has the mobility and capability on the ground as what Kendall Davis has?
Gosh, I was trying to think. I think he's probably right up to this point the best one as far as the mobility part of it, and can make plays and extend plays. You may think you got him right there where you want them. People are covered, and boom, somebody's not quite contained, or somebody's over pursued in a gap, and he sees it. And he has a knack for knowing when to pull it down. That's a sign of a great quarterback. Is I know when I should be throwing the football. If I haven't thrown it, I need to go make something happen with it.
You look at what you did this past week against UNC Pembroke, and it was consistently driving the Braves off the ball with your offensive line, not just the first team, the second team, the third team. How proud are you of that group up front and what they've been able to accomplish these last 2 weeks? Well,
I think that group up front is continuing to mature, continue to grow in confidence. Their explosion. You can be 290 pounds or 300 pounds, you still can have explosion. All right, and that's what we want. That's an explosive offense, and it has to start with that. But those guys have done a good job of just, hey, let's do our job. Okay, let's do our job and let the rest of it happen, and I've been very pleased with their effort.
Troy Dendy has kind of become the breakout running back of the group this year, sack player of the week. What's he done as a freshman to earn the reps that he's getting?
I think he's decided he wants to be that football player. Okay, I think he has made that decision intentionally that, hey, I want to play. I want to make something happen and have my opportunity. When we recruited him, we knew he had talent. There was no question about that. But I think he's really grown up as a young man, which has helped him grow up as a football player. I think establishing himself as part of this offense has been fun to watch.
When you look at your defense, you get Antonio Henderson back last week. How important was that for the D?
Oh, that was very important. I mean, he's a guy that's one of the seniors on that defense, and he's a guy that's played and played and played and played, and that's experience around you. Makes you more comfortable when you got more of an experienced guy in there, and probably making some calls, getting us in the right alignment. So yeah, it was great having him back, and he was limited in what he could do last week because it was late in the week before he ever really knew that he was going to be able to play. But now he's full go, so he should have a great week of practice.
And then that defensive backfield, you get 5 interceptions in that game. You have a couple guys that have been stalwarts back there. You're working in a couple new guys as well. What have you seen from that group this season?
Well, I've seen that group grow up tremendously. When you first started off, you were going like, "Wow, we better keep that 4 healthy," and but we've seen those guys grow into their roles. The other guys, you've seen that group become more of a ball hawking defense, which is really great to watch. And we told them yesterday in the team meeting, last week we had 3 turnovers on defense. We got 3 takeaways, and this week we got 5. Man, you know, you can be a pretty good football team when you're taking it away, and then when the offense just turn around and taking that football and making points out of it. That's reinforcing the reinforcing part of it.
Then you look at how your special teams was able to play all those touchbacks last week. Obviously, that helps the cause, and you're going to deal with some good returners here over the next couple of weeks. How important is it for special teams to continue to do what they've been able to do?
Oh, they've got to. They did a much better job covering this week, even though they were blowing the whistle. Thank goodness. You still got to cover because, you know, the guy even tried to take one out there sometime in the fourth quarter or something just to see what would happen. But if you can kick 10 out of 11, I think that was right, in the end zone for touchbacks, that's pretty special. If that's not a record, Adam, it ought to be. Okay, there you go. It ought to be. And then turn around and punt for what, a 50-some yard punting average or something like that. So, yeah, very, very pleased with those folks and how it's like anything, a quarterback, a strong defensive line, a safety. When those people on the special teams have a player around them like Nate Kraft, that makes them better.
You mentioned Troy Denby, but when you look at the running back group as a whole, it feels like these last couple of weeks you've been able to work in a variety of different guys.
Right.
One workhorse at this point. Has that been nice as a coach to keep everybody fresh and get some fresh legs out there throughout the game?
Oh, sure it does. And there's kids, there's kids you want to get them enough reps. And, you know, if you can, you get them out of there because there's a long haul coming down the road, Michael, you know. And but to those other kids that got in there and got reps, we've always felt like we had some depth at running back. And, you know, sometimes you're a running back and, you know, you're in a ball game and you play 2 sets of running backs, you're not getting to play. But now when you do get in that game, that changes your attitude in practice and your preparation, and therefore it makes the whole offense better.
Brendan Westbrook, one of their safeties, one of the leaders in the country in solo tackles, had a pick 6 last week against Limestone. Safeties critical in defending the option. What do you see from their sophomore out of Salisbury?
Well, I was sitting there and watching the video Sunday afternoon when I saw him break on the ball. It was like, yeah, okay, there goes 6. There was nobody going to run him down. He did a great job breaking on the ball. They're going to be solid in what they do. Curtis will have them solid in their preparation. I have no doubt about that. We've got to be solid in our preparation, and it'll be like it always is when it's Catawba and Carson-Newman. It's a battle.
For years, I mean, it was Kyle Kitchens, depending on whether you want to call him a linebacker or a DN, but one of the best defensive players in Catawba history. Who do you get the sense of now that is the guy? Is it an L.J. Melvin? Is it a Jeremiah Ferguson? Or does it fall on a Chris Page or a Brendan Westbrook in the secondary?
Well, I think Chris has been there a while in the secondary. You know, he's very solid. 1 year, I think, when he was a freshman, he had a pick 6 against us over there. And he's been a great football player for him. I think that the linebackers, that they have moved them around a little bit, in maybe different spots, but they're still the same kind of football player. They play aggressive, they tackle well, and they run to the football.
How nice is it that you've spent the last 3 weeks at home? What's that enabled you to do as a coach and a football team? I'd
like to spend the next 6 weeks at home if we could do that. It's always great when you have a routine, and football players, and I think all of us are creatures of habit. You want to stay in your routine as much as you can and feel comfortable with that. Know where you're going for pregame. Know where you're going for meetings. You know your environment is the same as it has been. And anytime you play at Mossy Creek, you should feel like you've got an edge there. No question about it.
Looking back at last week, it was really an explosive performance on all sides of the ball, like we've already alluded to today. But how does that build up the confidence going into this final game of this homestand?
Well, yeah, that's the part of, we talked about our football team being common or uncommon. Sometimes people that can go have 2 big wins, they get a bloated sense of security. They get a bloated sense of how good they are, and usually somebody comes and pops that balloon real quick. An uncommon football team sees that, hey, that was great, let's celebrate it, but then let's also look at how much better we can be and how much farther we've got to go to get to where we want to get to. And there's really no middle of the road right there. You either are common or you're uncommon. Common won't win a championship. So we talked to them about that yesterday and say, hey, that we're going to prepare like we do every week. We expect you to see you prepare well, to practice hard, to condition. And I think that's been a strong part of our football team this year is our physical conditioning. And we'll continue to do that, continue to press on their preparation, their study of the game. And in this league, you can't take anything for granted. Everybody knows everybody too well. So you see it every Saturday about how did that happen? Well, that's how it happened. So take a realistic look at yourself, and when you do that, and just like we talked to them about, it's about checking your heart. If that heart's about other people and that heart's about this football team, then you don't get a self-inflated opinion of you and what all your accomplishments are.